Hey there, tree huggers and city slickers. Ever heard of a monkey that looks like it should be solving for E=mc²? Me neither, until I met this little guy. Meet the Cotton Top Tamarind, the Albert Einstein of the jungle. Don't let that serious hair fool you, though. These guys are all about fun in the sun, down in the steamy rainforests of Colombia. They might be small, but they've got personality and hair for days. Stick around, you won't believe your eyes. Picture this: lush green canopies, the air thick with humidity, and the sounds of the jungle symphony all around. This ain't no concrete jungle, folks. We're talking northwestern Colombia, home to more shades of green than a St. Patrick's Day parade. And nestled amongst the vines and bromeliads, you'll find our little buddy, the Cotton Top Tamarind, living the good life. Well, maybe not exactly. It's a jungle out there, even for a monkey with such fabulous hair. But these guys are survivors, and they know how to make the most of their tropical paradise. So what's the deal with these little Einsteins? First off, they're tiny. Think a squirrel with a serious case of bedhead, but don't underestimate them. Those bright white tufts aren't just for show, though they definitely turn heads in the jungle. It's like they woke up and chose chaos, and the chaos is adorable. But there's more to these monkeys than just good looks and a killer do. They're social butterflies, master communicators, and they play a vital role in their ecosystem. Stay tuned, folks, because things are about to get wild. Alright, let's talk size. These guys ain't winning any height contests, that's for sure. We're talking about a foot-long tops. Basically, your average subway rat in Manhattan could throw hands with one of these guys. But hey, good things come in small packages, right? What they lack in size, they more than make up for in personality and maybe a little bit of Napoleon complex. Don't tell them I said that, though. Seriously, though, these little fellas are proof that dynamite comes in small packages. They're fast, they're agile, and they can navigate the rainforest canopy like nobody's business. For real, this hair is bananas. Now let's talk about the main attraction, that glorious gravity-defying hair. I mean, come on, it's like a powdered wig exploded on their heads. You gotta admire the commitment to the look. Word on the street is that they style it with tree sap. Jungle hairspray, gotta love it. But seriously, folks, this ain't no fashion statement. That white fur actually helps them blend in with the sunlight filtering through the trees. Camouflage, baby. And you thought your bad hair days were rough. Imagine rocking this dew in a rainstorm. Talk about a frizz factor. But hey, it works for them. Okay, so we've covered the hair, but what else is there to these little guys? Well, for starters, they've got these big, expressive eyes. Like, seriously, they could melt your heart with a single glance. And then there are those tiny little hands. I mean, they're like miniature human hands, only way cuter. They use them for everything: grabbing food, grooming each other, picking up bad tips from tourists. Just kidding, these guys don't take tips. They're above that. But those hands are also super important for their survival. They allow them to grip onto branches, pluck insects out of crevices, and even use tools. Don't let their size fool you. These monkeys are built for the jungle. They've got powerful legs for leaping between branches, sharp claws for clinging onto trees, and tails that are longer than their bodies. Talk about overcompensating. Seriously though, that tail isn't just for show. It acts like an extra limb, helping them balance while they're navigating the canopy. It's like having a built-in tightrope. And speaking of the canopy, that's where these guys spend most of their time. They're arboreal, which is a fancy way of saying they live in trees, and they rarely touch the ground, probably because it's too mainstream for them. Party animals. It's a family affair. Now let's talk social life. These Cotton Top Tamarinds, they ain't no hermits, you know? They roll in crews, tight-knit families, like a bunch of wise guys from the Bronx, but with better grooming habits. You got your main power couple, the alpha male and female, calling the shots. They got seniority, they got the best branches for napping, the whole 9 yards. Then you got their kids, the nieces, nephews, maybe a cousin twice removed. You know how families get. And let me tell you, things can get lively. Imagine Thanksgiving dinner with your loudest relatives, but instead of arguing about politics, they're communicating through a series of squeaks, whistles, and the occasional hair pull. Chatterboxes of the jungle monkey business, literally. These tamarins, they don't shut up. Okay, maybe shut up is a bit harsh. They're not like those pigeons in Central Park, always squawking for a handout. These guys, they got things to say, important things. We're talking a whole symphony of sounds. Chirps, squeaks, trills, whistles, you name it. They got a call for everything. Food, danger, that feeling when you find a perfectly ripe fig. It's like their own secret language, and frankly, I'm a little jealous I don't speak it. Scientists, they've been studying these vocalizations for years, trying to crack the code. Turns out it's more complex than we thought. These monkeys, they ain't just making noise, they're communicating on a whole other level. From chirps to trills, decoding the monkey dialect. So what are they saying, you ask? Well, it ain't exactly to be or not to be, but it's important stuff for a tamarin on the go, like that high-pitched chirp. That's their version of, hey, look, fresh grubs over here. Then you got the low rumble, usually coming from the big guy himself, the alpha male. That's his way of saying, this is my turf, see? Move along, nothing to see here. He might not have a thick New York accent, but he gets his point across. And then there's the alarm call. Sharp, piercing, sends chills down your spine. That means danger's nearby. Could be a snake, a jaguar, maybe even a tourist with a selfie stick. Whatever it is, it's time to skedaddle. But it's not just about the sounds, oh no, these monkeys, they're masters of nonverbal communication too. We're talking facial expressions, body postures, you name it. They're like the 𝗓𝗏𝗄𝐿 of the primate world. Take that furrowed brow, for example. That ain't just gas after a bad banana. That's tamarin for I'm not impressed, maybe even a little bit of, you want to step outside and say that? And then there's the lip smack. Now this could mean a couple things depending on the context. Could be a friendly greeting like, what up, cuz? Or if it's accompanied by a hard stare, it could mean back off, this is my mate. Drama in the jungle, folks, it's real. Because let's face it, life in the rainforest ain't always a picnic. Sure, the weather's nice and the fruit is always in season, but there's predators to worry about, competition for resources, and don't even get me started on the in-laws. That's why these tamarins, they stick together. They rely on each other for protection, for finding food, for emotional support. They're a team, a family, a bunch of knuckleheads just trying to make it in the jungle. And you gotta respect that. All right, early birds and night owls, time for a reality check. Cotton Top Tamarins, they don't believe in sleeping in. Nope, these guys are up before the crack of dawn, ready to start their day. And what's the first thing on their agenda? Breakfast, of course. Think about it. You wake up, you're hungry, right? Same goes for these little guys. Except instead of hitting up the local bodega for a bagel and schmear, they're swinging through the trees, looking for their next meal. Talk about starting your day with a view. Now, you might think a monkey's breakfast is all bananas all the time. And while they do enjoy a good banana as much as the next primate, their diet is actually way more diverse than that. From bugs to berries, a tamarin's guide to fine dining. Forget Michelin stars, these tamarins are all about that 5-star jungle buffet. Insects, fruits, tree sap, bird eggs, anything they can get their tiny hands on. It's like a never-ending game of what's for dinner. First up, the protein shake of the rainforest insects. Expert bug hunters with sharp eyesight and claws. Crickets, grasshoppers, spiders, you name it. But it's not all about the meat sweats. Tamarins also gotta get their 5-a-day jungle style. Berries, fruits, flowers, anything sweet and juicy. The rainforest always offers something new and delicious. Now this next one might sound a little weird, but trust me, it's a tamarin delicacy. We're talking tree sap, that sticky, sweet stuff that oozes out of certain trees. They use their sharp little teeth to gnaw on the bark, creating wells for the sap. Then they use their long tongues to lap it all up. Tree sap is actually really good for them. Talk about a natural energy drink. A moment of zen in the jungle. After bugs, berries, and sap, what's next? Like Grandpa, after a meal, they take it easy. They find a sunny spot, groom, and chill out. Even when relaxing, they're hard at work. Their digestive system is different from ours. Special bacteria help break down tough plant matter. While lounging, their insides work overtime. It's a 24/7 job with better scenery. Always be hustling, the daily grind of a tamarin. But don't let their laid-back attitude fool you. Life in the rainforest is a constant hustle. Once they've digested their lunch, it's time to start foraging for dinner. And then, before you know it, the sun's setting. And it's time to find a safe place to sleep for the night. And repeat. Every day the same routine. Wake up, eat, explore, socialize, sleep, repeat. It might sound monotonous, but for a cotton top tamarin, it's just another day in paradise. Nature's little gardeners, more than just cute faces. These monkeys are adorable, but are they really that important? The answer is a resounding yes. They're vital to their ecosystem. While being adorable, they spread seeds. Like Johnny Appleseeds of the rainforest, seeds come out intact, ready to sprout. Seed squad goals: spreading the love and the trees. Plants need a way to spread their seeds. Otherwise, they'd compete with their own offspring. Not exactly a recipe for a thriving rainforest. That's where our tamarin friends come in. They're the ultimate seed dispersers. Tamarins get a meal, plants get dispersed. Teamwork. But it's not just about the plants either. This whole seed dispersing thing, it's actually beneficial for the entire ecosystem. See, a healthy rainforest, it needs a diverse range of plants and trees to thrive. And that diversity, it's all thanks to our little monkey gardeners. When the tamarins spread those seeds, they're helping to create new patches of forest, which in turn provide food and shelter for all sorts of other animals. Birds, insects, reptiles, they all benefit from the tamarins' hard work. It's like a giant web of life, with each species interconnected and dependent on the others. And at the heart of it all, you've got these tiny little monkeys, playing a crucial role in keeping the whole system in balance. Now you might be wondering, what kind of plants are we talking about here? Well, the answer is a whole lot of them. Cotton top tamarins, they've got a diverse palette, and they're known to disperse the seeds of hundreds of different plant species. There's the fig tree, for example, a rainforest staple that provides food for a wide range of animals. Then there's the passion flower with its vibrant blooms and sweet nectar. And let's not forget about the various species of bromeliads, those funky-looking plants that grow on the branches of trees. All of these plants, and many more, they rely on the cotton top tamarin to help them spread their seeds and ensure the survival of their species. It's a symbiotic relationship, a delicate balance that's essential for the health and diversity of the rainforest. All right, folks, time to get real. We've been talking about how awesome these cotton top tamarins are, how they're like the life of the party in the rainforest. But here's the thing, their party's getting crashed, and not in a fun way. Remember that lush, vibrant jungle we talked about? Yeah, it's shrinking, fast. And our little monkey pals, they're losing their homes, their food sources, their whole world. It's enough to make you want to go bananas, but in a bad way. We're talking about deforestation, the illegal pet trade serious threats that are pushing these amazing creatures closer and closer to the brink. It's like someone's bulldozing their neighborhood and then trying to sell off the survivors as pets. Not cool, man, not cool. Let's talk about deforestation first. Imagine your neighborhood getting chopped down tree by tree to make way for, I don't know, a parking lot or something. That's what's happening to the rainforest, only on a much larger scale. Every year, thousands of acres of rainforest are destroyed to make way for agriculture, logging, and mining. And as the trees disappear, so do the animals that depend on them, including our little buddy, the cotton top tamarin. It's like someone took a giant weed whacker to their living room. Except instead of a messy carpet, we're talking about a delicate ecosystem being destroyed. And it's not just the tamarins that suffer, it's the entire web of life that depends on these forests. And if deforestation wasn't bad enough, there's another threat that's equally devastating: the illegal pet trade. See, these monkeys, they're cute, they're charismatic, and unfortunately, they're highly sought after as exotic pets. People see them in zoos or online and they think, "Oh, how adorable, I want one." But what they don't realize is that these animals belong in the wild, not stuck in a cage in someone's living room. Imagine being ripped away from your family, your home, everything you've ever known, and forced to live in a cramped, unnatural environment. That's the reality for many cotton top tamarins that are captured for the pet trade. And it's heartbreaking. Okay, so I know that was a lot of doom and gloom, but don't despair just yet. There's still hope for the cotton top tamarin, and there are things we can do to help. Organizations like the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute and the World Wildlife Fund, they're working tirelessly to protect these animals and their habitat. They're establishing protected areas, working with local communities to promote sustainable practices, and raising awareness about the plight of the cotton top tamarin. And here's the good news: we can all be part of the solution. By supporting these organizations, spreading the word, and making conscious choices about the products we consume, we can make a difference. Be a buddy, not a bystander. Your turn to primate. Look, I know what you're thinking. One person can't save the rainforest, right? And yeah, you're not wrong. This ain't a superhero movie where you put on a cape and single-handedly fight off deforestation. But here's the thing, every little bit helps. Think of it like this: if everyone who watched this video decided to do just one thing to help, imagine the impact we could have. It's like a chain reaction, only instead of explosions, we're talking about positive change. One tamarin at a time. First off, educate yourself. The more you know about these amazing creatures and the threats they face, the more empowered you are to make a difference. And hey, you're already watching this video, so you're off to a great start. Give yourself a pat on the back. Ever wonder what your shampoo, your chocolate bar, and your biofuel have in common? No, it's not a bad riddle, it's palm oil. This stuff is everywhere, and while it's not inherently evil the way it's often produced, let's just say it ain't pretty. We're talking about clearing rainforests to make way for palm oil plantations, destroying habitats, and displacing countless animals, including our little tamarin buddies. But don't worry, there's a way to fight back. Look for products that use sustainably sourced palm oil, the kind that doesn't involve razing rainforests to the ground. It might take a little extra effort to read those labels, but trust me, those tamarins will thank you for it. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm just a broke student, struggling artist, regular person. What can I really do? Well, my friend, you got options. Remember those organizations we talked about, the ones fighting the good fight for the tamarins? They can always use a helping hand, or paw, as it were. Even a small donation can go a long way in supporting their conservation efforts. Think of it like buying a cup of coffee for a tamarin in need, except, you know, less caffeine, more rainforest preservation. And hey, if you're really strapped for cash, there are other ways to help. Spread the word, share this video, tell your friends about the plight of the cotton top tamarin. You never know who might be inspired to take action. So, there you have it, folks. The cotton top tamarin, tiny, adorable, and facing some seriously big challenges. But here's the thing. Their future is not yet written. It's up to all of us to make sure these little guys have a fighting chance. Imagine a world where these monkeys can continue to swing through the trees, their white hair shining in the sun, their calls echoing through the rainforest. It's a world worth fighting for, don't you think? So let's do this. Let's keep the jungle jamming for generations of cotton top tamarins to come. Because a world without these little guys, that's just bananas. Peace out.